Welcome, everyone. Okay. If we would, hello, everyone. If all of the council members would please take their seats, and we'll get started. Welcome, everyone. Okay. If we would, hello, everyone. If all of the council members would please take their seats, and we'll get started. Welcome, everyone. Okay. If we would, hello.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we'll try this again, and we'll see if we get this replayed over and over and over again when I just say it one time. Hopefully not. So welcome, everyone, to the September 15th Rules Committee meeting. We'll start over. Oh, Mr. Dennis is here. Welcome, sir. See, it's a good I waited now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We'll start over with introductions with Mr. Dennis, please.
Garrett Dennis, Administration.
Nayeli Jimenez, Council Research. Carla Lopera, Office of General Counsel.
Trista Caraher, Council Auditor's Office.
Ken Amaro, City Council, District 1.
Randy White, District 12.
Terrence Freeman at large, Group 1.
Chris Miller at large, Group 5.
Ron Salem, Group 2 at large.
Mike Gay, District 2.
Good afternoon, Michael Boylan, District 6.
Good afternoon, Councilman Gaffney Jr., just visiting.
Good afternoon, Rockman Johnson, District 14, just visiting.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Do we have any public speaker cards? No cards. No Mr. Nooney. All right. Oh, I'm so sad. No, just kidding. All right. If at this time we will start out with a presentation by Ms. Hayes of Employee Services on appointed official hiring process. I just wanted everyone to understand what goes into the process. I think a lot of times we take it for granted how it works, maybe based on our history and companies, nonprofits, others. But I learned a lot when I looked into the details of how this really happens. And so we thank Ms. Hayes for coming today. And please, you have 10 minutes, and we'll just hand it over to you. Thanks, Ms. Hayes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon, committee. Appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you about the appointed official hiring process. I hope everyone received a copy of the handout. If you did not, there should be some extra copies floating around. Just let me know and we can get those to you. We'll go ahead and get started. According to the municipal code, appointed official appointments are made by the mayor and confirmed by city council. These are full-time, at-will employees that serve at the pleasure of the appointing authority. They receive benefits similar to civil service employees, but they are not protected by the civil service rules. They also have employment terms and conditions, which can be found on the Employee Services webpage under pay plans. So it's important to note that the hiring process we utilize today aligns with traditional methods that have been employed for many years to fill these appointed positions. Per Section 116.909, appointed positions for the City of Jacksonville can be filled by current city employees without the need to post or advertise that position. However, The appointed authority decides, if they decide to open it up and competitively fill that position, then that's where employee services becomes really involved in the process. As far as we start collecting information, one of the first things that we do is we look at the job description and make sure that that's still accurate. Some of these job descriptions haven't been reviewed for many years, so we really look at that and make sure everything's still good. We create the job posting based on that job description, and we decide how long should we post it and whether it should be posted externally or internally. We also decide where do we want to post this. All of our jobs are posted on the City of Jacksonville website, but we can also post, we have a whole list of places we can post at, Florida League of Cities, social media, the Daily Record, and we do post a lot on professional organizations too. Obviously, we've posted the job. Now we're starting to get applications that come in. So we're screening for qualifications that are stated in the code for these appointed officials. And to help us with this, we do develop supplemental questions that are part of the application process that significantly enhances the hiring process by providing more targeted, relevant, and actionable information on the candidate. And that just helps us determine the eligibility. Every step of the hiring process, veterans preference laws apply. And I just wanted to note also that degree verification, if there's a degree that's required for that job, then we verify it and we make sure that it's they've got it from an accredited university or college. So our interview objectives, I included a graphic because I think it's a really good graphic of our Ladders to Leadership program. But we focus on 11 core competencies in that program, and that's what we're evaluating. When we interview these appointed officials, we are looking at these 11 core competencies. Specifically, you can see to the far right, the chief and directors and executives, the two competencies that are most important to that area is business acumen and emotional intelligence. But again, we're looking for all of those because they build one upon the other. To prepare for the interview, we assemble an interview panel, including senior leadership, which provides strategic oversight and alignment with citywide goals. We have an employee services representative to ensure that we're compliant with hiring policies and practices, and a subject matter expert who is really going to make sure that we're evaluating the technical and specialized qualifications in depth. Another tool that we use oftentimes when we have an appointed official job where we have lots of people applying is a matrix. And that matrix is just it's really summarizing all the applications into a couple of pages where you can easily compare one applicant to the other. And it's summarizing education, experience, how they responded to the supplemental questions that we asked, as well as any certifications. We develop the interview questions based on the job description. We determine how long that interview should last, and then we also coordinate and schedule the interviews. So the city uses a structured interview process with both behavioral and situational questions for our appointed officials. And again, we've been doing it like this for many, many years. The Society of Human Resource Management, SHRM, recommends this approach to ensure fair and consistent evaluation, focusing on competencies like leadership, business acumen, and ethical practice. So just looking at each type, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. A behavioral interview format focuses on past behavior to predict future performance. It evaluates competencies like teamwork, leadership, and problem solving. And an example of a behavioral interview question is, tell me about a time you led a change initiative that faced resistance. How did you overcome it? And then the next slide basically talks a little bit about a situational interview question or type of interview. The format uses hypothetical scenarios to assess decision making. It tests how a candidate might handle future challenges. And an example of a situational interview question is, imagine your organization is facing a significant budget shortfall. How would you prioritize spending and communicate cuts to your team and stakeholders? After we conduct the interview, we hold a debrief session. This is the team panel comes together. We sit there and right then and there when everything's fresh on your mind. And each panelist shares their impressions based on the criteria, based on the competencies that we're looking for in that applicant. We discuss strengths. We talk about any concerns that were maybe made away, brought forth. We talk about any red flags. And we sit there and discuss until we reach a consensus. And we group these applicants into tiers: strongly recommend, consider, and do not recommend. We share these tiers with the administration for further consideration. And the last slide, I just want people to understand there are other methods to interview. And one other method is scoring. Again, I don't know, we've been doing the structured interviews for as long as I can remember. I've been with HR for 16 years. I'm not sure if we've ever done any scoring. I tried to go back and look at some old interview stuff and couldn't really find anything. But I did some research on scoring. And scoring high-level executive interviews is not an industry norm due to the complexity of roles, the dynamic nature of interviews, potential subjectivity and bias, and the overemphasis of quantitative metrics and the unique or specialized nature of some roles. Focusing on scoring can overshadow qualitative observations that might be critical to making a hiring decision. And we feel like those soft skills, assessing those soft skills, are very, very important when we're looking at hiring these chiefs and directors. So that is the end of my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you giving us this overview. I will make a couple comments, but nothing in need of response. But I just wanted to let folks here know, so you can sit down if you'd like. Just to my colleagues here, I just wanted to, again, bring this to your attention so you know what the process is. It's not only for, this is similar process for hiring, also for those who the mayor appoints, actually nominates for processing through for approval for the city council for key positions and commissions and boards. And so I just wanted everyone to understand this. And I must say, and I know you probably put that last slide in there because of our discussion, and I appreciate that. My experience has been just the opposite. You minimize subjectivity and bias when you have solid, objective criteria for the position that you're looking for based on experience, skills, knowledge, and abilities. So my experience and the organizations I've been part of have done it just the opposite. And we have examples, public service grants, others that use scoring matrices and ensure the judges or the scorers are able to have criteria that they score against. But in this process, that doesn't exist. It is more, as you've heard, it is more of a process of looking at situational, behavioral aspects, and how do you feel about the responses by a panel member? How does the panel member feel about those responses? These types of things, I quite frankly, I say are of concern to me. And so I looked into this in some detail with some of the ones that have gone through us recently, the full council, And that's what brought some of this to light. And I will also say there's currently a situation with JFRD with their promotion scoring system that was a legal settlement that brought an outside organization in to conduct their testing, and they test 25% based on skills, knowledge, abilities, objective measures to be able to do the job. That's only 25%. The other 75% are situational, more, in my opinion, subjective, social, other types of questions. And so I bring this up as an example to say, and the leadership in JFRD, I asked if they would be okay with me sharing this. They said they've had more challenged promotion lists and scoring, ranking for each promotion test the last 4 years than they've ever had before they started this system that was mostly objective measuring of their ability to do the next level job since this has been put in place. And it's been challenged more often, and also they said we have a serious morale issue associated with that we're dealing with. And I know OGC has this. They're trying to renegotiate the percentages and all of this, but I just wanted this body, because we're the ones these all come through, to understand that. And so I just wanted to share what I found in my research, and also for you to understand how the process works, so there's no questions as each one of these nominees come through the committee process. And so I'm going to leave it there, but I just wanted to do that. I'll also be having the IG come and share some of their findings as we go forward on some of their work. So if you have anything that you think would be a benefit to the committee body here, please let me know and we'll schedule them like Ms. Hayes. And so I just wanted to thank you, Ms. Hayes, for coming today and sharing with us. Ken Amaro is on the queue. Mr. Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Quick question for Ms. Hayes, if you will. I'm listening to what you're saying, and arm length knowledge of the long history of litigation with our fire department and employment practices aside. I'm just curious, Ms. Hayes, how does this process compare to the practices of the private sector at the FIS, the Bank of America, et cetera, et cetera? And I realize we're in the government space, but how does it align with private sector?
I'm really not sure. I know that the military, because the chair shared with me that the military uses a scored type interview. I can tell you that I reached out to JEA. JEA sometimes uses scoring. JSO reached out to them. They sometimes use scoring. Jacksonville Housing Authority does not use scoring. For human services, it's very, very important that you're consistent. I don't like the thought that I'm going to choose this person and do scoring, or this role to do scoring on, and this one I'm going to go back and do what we've consistently done. So it's all over the place, honestly. I mean, some people do, some people don't.
Just a quick follow-up. So in your capacity, are you content with the systems that we have, the protocols, the procedures that are now in place?
Through the chair to Mr. Amaro, yes, I feel that this is a good approach. Again, the mayor has the ability to make the appointment, and those appointments do come to the city council for confirmation. I want to ensure you that we do our due diligence. The open requirements that are in the code are broad. So determining eligibility, we have a lot of eligibility to go through, and we do our due diligence to make sure that we're providing her the best candidates.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, we'll now go to the agenda handout we have. Does everyone have this agenda handout? We'll also, since Councilmember Gaffney Jr. is here, we will put in the bills that he's looking to go over after Councilmember Johnson's bills on this agenda, and then we'll resume with the front end of the published agenda after that. So if everyone would go with me to page 12, and we'll go to item number 16. I wanted to find out first, is Ms. Gross here? Okay, she is here. Okay. We have item 2025-0669. We have a motion and second on the bill. Ms. Gross, thank you for coming today. And if you would take some time to just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your background. I know it's a reappointment, but we didn't have the attendance record, and so that's why I believe you were asked to come before us today. So if you just share with us a little bit, if you'd start out with saying your name and your address for the record, please. Thank you.
My name is Rochelle Gross, 2949 Broadway Avenue, 32254. I've been a resident of Duval County since 1967. I'm alumni of University of North Florida. I graduated in 1982, and 2 weeks after graduation, I went to work for the Department of Corrections, and I worked there until they privatized in 1998. And I've been volunteering in the community as long as I can remember. I volunteered with the American Red Cross as a CPR, first aid, and tutor. The SHINES program, serving the health insurance needs for the elderly for about 8 years. Various volunteers. Currently, I'm volunteering with Woodstock's Neighborhood Association. I'm the vice president of that neighborhood association, and I'm very concerned about our citizens. And they always, ever since I was a youth, they would always pull me aside and say, well, baby, do this for me, fill out these papers. And so I've always been, susceptible to them and make myself available to them. So I have a heart for community volunteering, and I came with COE last year, and I went through the same process. But I'm back here today because I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I still work need to be done for the citizens in my area.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am. I have Council Member Salem in the queue, please.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Gross, welcome. The information we have was they were not able to verify your attendance for the meetings. Can you give us some idea? Did you attend some of the meetings, half the meetings, most of the meetings?
All of the meetings.
You attended all of the meetings?
I attend all of the meetings. I attend meetings before I was even appointed.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
All right.
Thank you. We'll now go to Councilmember Freeman. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through the chair to Ms. Gross. Thank you so much for, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm right here. Thank you so much for putting yourself forward to serve on this commission. I can tell you in 2015, we struggled to find good people who were willing to volunteer their time to serve on this board. So to see you putting yourself forward, to hear your story, I just truly am excited about what you're bringing to the board, to this commission, and I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no more speakers in the queue, Please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0669. Thank you, Ms. Gross. And if you're able to attend the next City Council meeting, we will recognize you and thank you in that session. But it's not required, but thank you very much if you're able to attend. Okay, we'll now go to also page 12, number 17, 2025-0670. We have a motion on the amendment and a second. Ms. Keher, would you please explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will correct the term end date to September 30th, 2027.
Okay, all in favor of the amendment, say aye. All opposed, the same. The amendment passes. We have a motion and a second on the bill as amended. Is just by chance, doesn't have to be, but is Mr. Moya here? Okay. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0670. We'll now go to item number 18, 2025-0671. We have a motion second on the amendment. Ms. Keher, would you please explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will correct the term end date to September 30th, 2027.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye. All those opposed, the same. The amendment passes. We have a motion and a second on the bill as amended. We have Councilmember Salem in the queue, please.
Would you please add me as a co-sponsor?
We have Councilmember White in the queue, please.
Yes, sir, add me too, please.
Okay, I think we're all in there. Thank you very much. And no one else in the queue, if you'd open the ballot and record your votes.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0671. We'll now turn to page 22. And we have item number 40. It's 2025-0710. We have motion second on the emergency. Ms. Carroll, would you please explain the emergency?
Through the chair to the committee, a one-cycle emergency has been requested in order to fill this vacant seat as soon as possible to facilitate the Jacksonville Housing Authority's ability to conduct their board business.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor of the emergency, please say aye. All those opposed, the same. The emergency passes. I have a motion and a second on the bill as emergency. We have Mr. Blanchard here. Would you please introduce yourself, state your name and address for the record, and then tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure, my pleasure. Honor and a pleasure to be here. It's been a little while, but my name is Daniel Blanchard, and the address is 7682 Hunters Grove Road. I'm a local land developer here in Jacksonville, and we develop and build residential homes, single-family, multifamily apartments all across Jacksonville and all across the East Coast of the United States. And Garrett Dennis asked me if I would jump in and help out the Housing Authority, and I haven't really had much experience with them, but affordable housing is certainly a passion of mine, and I learned more about it, and I'm interested, and so I think that the Housing Authority's got a lot of growth ahead of it, and I'm looking to jump in and help them get there from a little bit of oversight from the development side, from a private citizen, and looking forward to helping.
Excuse me. Thank you very much for that. We'll first go to Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair, Mr. Blanchard, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
You as well.
And I'm tickled to death that you want to serve on the Housing Authority, because clearly they can use your expertise here, and I'm already listed as a co-sponsor, so can't wait for you to get involved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We'll next go to Councilmember Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Daniel, thank you for putting yourself forward. I'm a strong believer in creating a path to affordable housing, not through the rental space, but through the actual space of home ownership. So I'm looking forward to what you bring. One of the reasons I got on the mic is I've got a very good friend whose name is Daniel Blanchard,
Right.
who works for the New York Mets, which I just find it interesting that you guys would have the same
Must be a good
name.
guy.
He is a good guy. Legislative Services, please add me as a sponsor. Thank you.
We'll go next to Past President White, please.
Yes, sir. Please add me as a co-sponsor, please.
And Past President Freeman, you recognize?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through the chair to Mr. Blanchard, welcome back.
Good to see you.
Great to see you putting yourself forward again. He was a tremendous asset on the Planning Commission, has been a resource in my early days on the council when it came to understanding some land use and zoning issues, and actually taking me out on a site visit, get my shoes dirty, but it was worth it at the time to learn, and I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Councilmember Boylan, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair, Mr. Blanchard. Thank you for putting yourself forward. I do appreciate. I've worked with you a lot this past couple of years. Been very responsive. I do appreciate that, and I share and echo the sentiment of Mr. Salem with respect to the professionalism you'll bring to that authority. Thanks. Add me too.
We'll go next to Councilmember Peluso, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair, Ms. Blanchard, very excited for your appointment to this as well. The Housing Authority absolutely needs a very strong board right now. They're going through some interesting times. My chief of staff is going to reach out to you to sit down and talk. I was the liaison to the board last year, and a lot of projects or a lot of developments are within my district. So
Great.
really want to talk about how we can kind of change some stuff going on with the Housing Authority now, and there's a lot of vacant lots that the Housing Authority owns. It's in my district that I'd love to see turn into home ownership. So that's something else we'll be talking about. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. We'll next go to Councilmember Gaffney Jr., please.
Thank you, and through the chair, it's good to see you, Mr. Blanchard.
Good
It's
to
been,
see
I
you.
think, like 3 or 4 months since we last spoke. I know you're doing a lot of amazing, great work in my community, and I have no doubt you'll continue to do that on the Housing Commission. So please add me as a co-sponsor as well.
Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, I'll just make a few comments. We had a really good exchange talking about your background, your focus, your passion for the things you mentioned, but I also like your fiscal responsibility and the approach you've always taken toward your projects, and that is getting the most for our money, and in this case, it'll be getting the most for the taxpayers' money, and there can be no better focus than that, and ensuring we're good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. So I really enjoyed hearing those kind of comments from you in our exchange, and I join my colleagues in being excited about you being on this in this position to be able to help out with housing. So with that said, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0710 as an emergency. And thank you, Mr. Blanchard.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you
same
all.
for you. If you're able to attend Tuesday night, we will recognize you and thank you for stepping forward to serve the city. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. We have Councilmember Boylan in the queue. You're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not going to belabor what I shared this morning, but I asked Mr. Peterson to put out a sheet, which all of you have a copy of, and I want to emphasize the title of that sheet. It's the Council Strategic Initiatives Summary. we are now euphemistically calling the council contingency, but in fact, the intent of this fund all along was to move forward initiatives we thought that had an impact on our community as a whole. And unfortunately, my concern is the trend of this becoming sort of a cookie jar for each individual council member to take care of their particular favorite projects or organizations. And I think we need to step back from that as a practice going forward. Secondly, I also spoke briefly to my concern with respect to the sweeps that happen. We're taking money out of accounts, putting them in unrelated accounts to address needs that perhaps should be more properly addressed as part of the budget process. And last but not least, the whole focus on public purpose, making certain and understanding and appreciating that when we do appropriate funds to organizations, it isn't about supporting the organization, it's about supporting the interests and needs of our community through that organization. So when we talk about some of these entities we look to fund and or support, we need to make certain we focus on the purpose, the public purpose. But also just conclude in saying, if you take a look at the council strategic initiatives sheets, we're seeing almost across the board waivers of RFPs to make them direct contracts. I know we've lamented about this in the past. In my situation, the $152,000 I put forward as an RFP to serve as a way of creating an entity in my district comparable to RAP or San Marco Preservation and others. So I just want to sort of set the table as we take a look at not only some of these bills we're looking at today, but in the future, that we step away and recognize once again strategic initiatives as being the focus of the use of those dollars. And secondly, to discourage where we can the sweeping of money out of accounts. I think at some point in time, perhaps even introduce an ordinance that requires that there are available funds at the end of a project that they automatically go into the operating reserve. So there's an equal opportunity for us to take advantage of those funds if warranted. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Okay, back on the one-sheet agenda, we're going to skip over 646 because the president's not here, so we'll take that in regular order. So we'll now go to page 5, item number 8, 2025-0645. We have an amendment, neighborhoods amendment. I have a motion, and do I have a second on the neighborhoods amendment? I have a motion and a second on the neighborhoods amendment. Ms. Kerr, please explain the amendment.
Through the chair to the committee, the neighborhoods amendment reduced the appropriation to $31,227. That's a $20,000 reduction, and attached to revised Exhibit 1, which is the BT, to reflect the revised appropriation.
Okay, thank you very much. We have Councilmember Past President Salem in the queue, please.
Thank you, Chair. We spent quite a bit of time on this and several others, but this one is a little unique compared to the other, I think, 5 or 6. The Mayor's Council on Fitness and Well-Being, we found in neighborhoods has not met since COVID. So it's been several years. I believe there are better uses for this $31,000. There was a lot of debate initially about a consultant being hired. Then we determined that a consultant was not going to be hired. So there was considerable confusion on this bill. I made the comment that I didn't think it was ready for prime time. Others, I think, agreed with me. So I am not in favor of the bill, and we'll be voting no on this. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go next to Vice Chair, Past President Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'm very interested to hear what the bill sponsor has to say. I served on this council as a liaison. It was always on Zoom, so it might have been in close proximity of the COVID era. And At that time, although found the group to be very great people, I could not walk away with the spirit of what we were trying to accomplish each meeting. There was a presentation, someone would share something of importance to their contribution to the community in this area. At that time, I want to say it was dealing with things with heart overheating, heat exhaustion maybe. So I just wanted to, through the chair, if I may, ask the council member if you or you were going to let him speak at the end, but kind of, can you give us an update on kind of what the mission is of this council now? I know we did a sweep of a thorough review of all of them, and how they would utilize these dollars to add value to the community.
If we could, before we do that, I should have taken a vote on the amendment. So let's handle that first, and then we can move the bill as amended and have that further discussion. So all those in favor of the neighborhoods amendment, please say aye. All those opposed, the same. Let's take a hand vote on that. All those in favor of the neighborhoods amendment, please raise your hand. Okay, that amendment passes. We'll just officially finish it. Those opposed, please raise your hand. So my count was 5-2 in favor of the amendment. The amendment. I have motion second on the bill is amended. Okay, now
I'm sorry.
we can have
Thank
that
you. Good
discussion.
job.
So I apologize for
No,
not
good
taking
catch,
that vote.
Mr. Chair. And so I moved the amendment in order to keep the discussion going forward, because I definitely would like to hear from the bill sponsor kind of the spirit of this body, what they do now, how does that continue to move our city forward, what value are they adding as a council here with our city?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very quickly, first of all, thank you, Vice President Freeman, for allowing me the opportunity. So through the chair to the past president, thank you for the opportunity to go through this. Before we move forward, though, I would like to clarify something on the record, and I think Mr. Peterson has something to say, if you don't mind, Mr. Chair.
No, please go ahead, Mr. Peterson.
Through the chair to the committee and to Councilmember Johnson, it was discussed this morning, the contents of procuring a consultant to provide these services. I went back through all the documentation that Councilmember Johnson provided to myself when he asked this legislation to be drafted, and nowhere does it reference a consultant. I'm assuming that I took liberties in jumping to that conclusion. I've apologized to Councilmember Johnson, but just wanted to put it on the record that it was not Councilmember Johnson's specific request. That was mine and Ms. Stefopoulos' attempt to draft the legislation to meet his request. So just wanted that out there on the record.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson, and that's why I wanted it to be said. So there was nothing about a consultant anywhere even thought about. The funds were used specifically to, and I wanted to put that on the record because I spent more than a week doing extensive research on this particular board. And again, the reason that I came about on this board is the Council President Carrico, appointed me as former Council President, to be the liaison to this board. And one of the things I noticed, kind of like you, when I got there, I didn't see the board doing something that was bringing a lot of heft to what we are supposed to do as city leaders. So instead of looking at it saying it's a bad thing, that's just one more board or something I can have on the resume, I said, what can I do to fix it? And that's why I spent a week in extensive research with not just calling the members of the former board, but also crafting a plan as to how the board can move forward. While it was not included in the legislation, I do have plans I'm going to share the plan with all of you, but I have a full plan that talks about exactly what the board's mission is planned to do. To provide, obviously, trusted counsel to us, but I went and also pulled the executive orders from the initial order under former Mayor Hazuri, who created the council, and moved it forward through amendments with Mayor Brown as well as Mayor Curry. And so I put all of the information from those executive orders together to find out where we needed to be. The reasons for these funds, initially these funds, and I kind of balk a little bit. I heard one of my colleagues call these strategic initiative funds a cookie jar, and I think that's a really poor way of characterizing these funds. I think this is less a cookie jar and more of important initiatives that many of us may know about that others may not. So I think doing the research, rather than just objectifying it by calling it some name or pejorative, I think is more important to do the research. And the intelligent thing to do is to research deeply and see what is this and how can it be of help. So moving forward, what I did was to say, how are the organizations that are around this city, how can they move health forward with things like prostate cancer screening, which is something you and I know a lot about, former council president, which is looking at health screenings, health things in the community. And this board is housed in the Department of Parks and Recreation. So in using that and using the staff member that's there, I created a full-scale plan as to how to reactivate the board, how to put in strategic initiatives. And because one of the funding group, or one of the groups that I had planned to use those strategic initiatives for was on the non-compliant list and not able to accept it, I thought that this would be a way for when they needed funds for events. And so it's not just us talking about something and hearing about it and making recommendations, but actually doing something about it. So there would be limited funds there. The initial number, as you'll see in the legislation, was $51,000. There was a cut that was made to, I think the number was 51 and some change, and I'm not looking at the exact number, but it's about $51,000. When that cut was made, there was a cut made to another group, which I'm not affiliated with, but I know that there was some cuts made, but those funds, I was willing to reduce the funds that I had in those strategic initiatives from 51 down to 31, so that $20,000 could go to meet that need that they had for the Hispanic board. So that's why you see the reduction there. But I will make sure that all of you, before the end of today, have copies of this, and you can see the work that I spent a week or so pulling together. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah. All right.
Please.
And thank you so much. And didn't want to go too far into the weeds with it, but definitely fitness and well-being takes on its own meanings with things. And so I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to go and research and see what all the health issues they go and look into and see if I align with them, although I am slightly curious now. But I will stay consistent in what I've done with everyone on this list is these were strategic dollars given for strategic initiatives. Whether I agree with them or didn't, we all had an opportunity to put infuse dollars into organizations that we felt were benefits for either the communities they serve or for the city as a whole. And so I will stay consistent in how I've been voting. I will say through the chair to Dr. Johnson, I did hear some things that might bring some concern if these dollars are being utilized to fund other agencies. I might have misheard you, but I definitely don't think that we ever circumvent the process of this body being able to account for how dollars and cents are spent. So I think I misheard you on that, but I am a little troubled that we are if you serve on the zoo board, if we start taking these funds and then giving them to these different types of councils, and I don't want to belabor it, but through the chair to our auditors, what funding do these councils get from the administration when the budget is presented?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, historically, council has not received any funding district-wise. In the last couple, 2-3 years, there's been pots made available to the president at the time. These dollars were part of the 24 strategic initiative that the request was made to the mayor. The mayor did not put any funds into the 24-25 budget. I believe it was Councilmember Salem who found available funding. I think I may be jumping to conclusions that it was cure violence dollars, but regardless, Councilmember Salem found the funding. It wasn't at 100%, it was at 76% of what the council had requested. And so every council member's request was cut down to 76% of their initiative. And then council members had to bring those dollars above the line somewhere in the 24-25 fiscal year. Councilmember Johnson still has dollars below the line, and he is asking for these dollars to move up for that purpose.
All right, I'm done. Thank you so much. I would just say I am troubled that there's still dollars here because they were given to us to put on the street. So I would strongly encourage my colleagues to find a good use for those in this current budget cycle, because I think things are going to start getting tougher as we move forward. So greatly appreciate that. And through the chair to Dr. Johnson, when they get these dollars moving forward, is this something that you will be able to report back to us? I know you said you're going to get us the plan, which is great, but is there something that can report back to us of how these dollars were used and how they benefited them? And you can just kind of give me a yes, and I'm good on it. Mr. Chair? May?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Councilman Freeman, yes. In all of my legislation, if you'll see, and they can verify for the General Counsel's Office, I've asked for a report to be returned. So in every one of the strategic funds initiatives that I've done since I've been here since 2023, every one of those organizations has to issue a report. And I will say again, council, to the council itself, the reason for this is not just because I sat on those funds. I just wanted you to understand it was because the organization that was supposed to get the big lump some of those funds was on the non-compliant list. And I think you'll hear another one of our colleagues have something similar today. Thanks.
Okay, no one else in the queue. I just, my concern with it was, and it sounds like you're working on that, Councilman Johnson, I just didn't see what it was for. Initially, I was concerned about the consultant. That's been answered. But strategic plans, we have a number of planners in the administration, and I'm concerned about the number of strategic plans that we're paying for. So that was my initial concern, but you've explained some of that, but I still don't know what the dollars are being used for. I don't want to sit here much longer. We do have other things to do, but that was my only concern, is not knowing what the dollars are actually going to be used for. Mr. Peterson, you had something?
Through the chair and to the chair and the committee, given the language that is currently in the bill that says it will be used to procure the services of a consultant, I would advise amending it to describe what the funds are going to be used for rather than going the consultant route, because that is not what Councilmember Johnson has indicated the dollars will be used for.
So you're, given what's come to light, you're asking if someone on the committee will make that amendment?
Through the chair, I am, yes, sir. I think that would be the wisest and most transparent course of action for the public to know what these dollars are going to be used for.
Okay, we have Councilmember Boylan. You recognize.
Well, I would certainly be glad to make that amendment if Councilmember Johnson can tell us specifically what the dollars will be used for, through the chair.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As I shared with Councilmember Boylan and the others this morning, I shall share again. The funds would be used specifically for events and opportunities to forward the cost of, to forward anything to do with wellness. So whether they be, we don't know specifically because this board hasn't met in such time, but what I have asked is these funds be put to the side because I thought one of the strategic priorities of those initiative lists that we were given was health and wellness in the community. So whether it be to support screenings in communities, wellness events at different parks around, what I wanted to do was have something so this board has something to at least get them started in what they were to do. And by the way, if I may, on our time, I literally just sent, so you'll have it, the information that I sent to both the auditing team and the Office of General Counsel from the beginning. You should have it in your emails, and Legislative Services should have it as well. And if you could get a paper copy to the Rules Committee, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Ms. LaPera? Mr. LaPera, could you put what he just offered in the form of an amendment for me, please? Because I can't.
Through the chair to the committee, and Dr. Johnson, correct me if I don't accurately capture your intent, but the request is that you make an amendment to change the language of the bill, that the purpose of the bill is to fund events and opportunities for community health and wellness.
I'll make that a motion, sir, as amendment.
We have a motion and second on the Boylan amendment. We have past President Freeman on the queue, please.
Thank you, and I don't want to vote against something without getting more clarity. So we have now moved this from dollars that were going to, in my opinion, go to a body like all of our other councils, like the Council of Elder Affairs. I'm sure that they might come next and want money to do some type of programming. And now we are changing this to a bill now that's going to provide for dollars for events. Is that what that amendment is for? Because then that's different than what I originally sat down here and in my speech that I shared earlier, which is I usually support anything that council members bring because it's a strategic initiative and it's going to go in impact. And now it turns into more of an events coordinator deal. Am I accurate in my understanding of this amendment through the chair to, I don't know who to ask, to the amendment, the offer of the amendment?
I offer the amendment at the courtesy of Councilman Johnson. I'll ask that he could speak to your question.
Through the chair, thank you, Mr. Chair. What I'm going to do is when you get the opportunity, there are several bullet points. One is a public awareness and messaging campaign, which is to reinvigorate the Healthy Jacksonville brand. It's on step 5 of the plan for the program, which talks about unified branding for the council initiatives and coming up with a media, both social and traditional media strategy to use earned media, but also to use the funds to ensure not just event planning, but if the specific board, the members of the board that are reactivated, if there are things that, and obviously the number, 31,000, is not going to be able to fund all the activities of the board. But what I thought that we could have is something to go along with and augment the things that they're already doing. So when you get an opportunity, and I apologize for you not having this plan, like I said, I included it initially, but this was the plan that I submitted to say, if we are going to move this board forward, here's some ideas on how it could be done. Here's how we can collect the data. So what my recommendation could possibly be is put the funds where right now they're below the line, put them in a contingency so that we have to vote them out from the council. That would be a compromise recommendation. But again, I understand the slippery slope, former council president, that you think that every board that we're on might want us to give some funds.
Well, I'm going to, before we do that, before we have a further exchange there, I want to ask timing on all this for the funds. Because I don't like that we're kind of talking through things here during committee that you would normally expect to be done before the bill's introduced or be able to clarify before we come to committee. It's almost like a planning process we're going through right now, workshop, whatever it is. If we defer this, is there still time for him to be able to get the details together and understood by everyone before the suspense for these funds?
To the chair, these dollars will lapse on September 30th of this year. So this is the last committee cycle on which council can take action. So if you deferred this and it was not taken up at Tuesday night's council meeting, the dollars would fall to operating reserves. That doesn't prevent Councilmember Johnson from introducing a bill to appropriate from operating reserves. We have other items on your agenda that carry dollars over into next year. If you wanted to put it into a contingency for the mayor's health, fitness, and health and well-being committee to come back with a plan at a later time, the funds would carry over into next year, and then Councilmember Johnson could bring a bill to bring those dollars above the line with a more concrete plan, I guess. That's another option that you have available.
You know, I'll defer to my colleagues here on this one, but that seemed to be the only reasonable option I could think of and support. But open to other ideas. But otherwise, I'd like to, if we could land this plane in some way, that would be great. I see Councilmember Boylan.
Yeah, actually, I popped up to say I'm going to go ahead and withdraw my amendment so that we can move.
Okay,
on your.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, thank you. And now we have Councilmember Freeman, please.
Thank you. And just to make sure I'm understanding where the chair is taking us. So, Mr. Chair, I believe it was explained to us that we can put the dollars below the line, but earmark it for this council. So I've read through it briefly. well written, well detailed, very detailed. One concern that I don't know if the bill sponsor has considered is he may not be the liaison next year, but it's listing you as the interim. And yet again, we know how government works. We know how politics works, right? So how are you going to feel through the chair if this body of work that you've done is changed and is format by the next council president and the shift? Because I do see a lot of like Journey Forward. They have funding, or I think they do. I mean, we'll see. we'll see what happens in the budget process. But going through it, I see a lot of things in here that are already getting dollars, and so I can see that if we put money below the line, this group's going to be having the same conversation of these dollars are redundant, we're going to put it in the savings. So is there another opportunity or another group that may, like a plan B in case, and do in and out, do an emergency piece of legislation on next Tuesday for these funds? If because I think this conversation is done, and I'm now aligning with my body. I'm going to always try to support these types of funds, but it's kind of taking a new shape and form, and I need to do more research now before I sit down and vote with conviction. Thank you.
We have Past President Salem in the queue here, please. Okay, please, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to respond to Mr. Freeman's question. To answer your question, and that's a great question, yes, through the chair, I don't plan to be, none of us, I don't think any of us can plan to say we're going to be the liaison to any of the other bodies next year. I took the time to write this plan because it was the right thing to do, and I don't plan to be the liaison. If it happens, so be it. But what I did is I wrote specifically it to ask for a temporary, if you look closely in it, to ask for a temporary chairmanship to get it involved. Once the people are back in and there's a strategic plan and they say, here's a foundation for us to go through, I'm stepping away. And the way I wrote it, I literally have a memo from the administration that says this is a temporary appointment for an interim time that's going to end after this many days. And then whoever is on that board, they determine their leadership and determine where they're going. But for me, and I got to put this out, as I do research and become as an academic now, one of the things I know is that a lot of times when we start the planning process, we don't have a foundation from which to go. This is simply that foundational work based on substantive data that I uncovered over that week or so of research. So now that the data's here, you have all the details, you have all of a preliminary plan. Now you look at it and figure out, community members, how do we go forward and make this happen? So not with Rockmont Johnson, but simply with something that's good for the community. Thank you for that question.
Thank you. We'll now recognize Council Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. I said from the beginning that I was a no, and I'm still a no. Here is my suggestion, though, to get us out of this quagmire. Vote the bill down. It goes into the reserves. If in next year, if a bill comes up and there is a board that's active, and we can see that, which is the board has not been active in 5 years, but if there's an active board, Councilmember Johnson, I will fight for you to get some dollars for a plan that you come forward with an active board. That's my commitment to you. But today, we should reject this bill, let the money go to reserves, and move forward. Thank you.
Do I have anyone else in the queue? We've heard what Mr. Peterson said, and we've heard what each person is commenting on. As I said, I would like to land this plane. So Councilmember Amaro was on but off again. No? Anyone else? Could you please put us in a proper posture? Now we've had a lot of back and forth.
Through the chair to the committee, so we're back on the bill as amended by the Neighborhoods Amendment because Mr. Boylan withdrew his amendment. We're back on the bill as amended by NCSPHS, which reduces the appropriation to $31,227. And whenever discussion has concluded, you can take a ballot vote on that. Okay.
We have Councilmember Amaro back on again. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very quickly, when we were asked our council initiatives for districts, gave us the privilege to be able to spend dollars in certain areas, and certain initiatives to make the public whole, if you will, to identify public purpose and put dollars where public needs are supposed to be met. And so I support council members when they go forth and they try these initiatives. The challenges with this is, and I think one has been removed for me, and that is the consultant piece. I was not prepared to support giving a consultant $31,000 about fitness. But the challenges are we're trying to support an organization that has been inactive for a number of years, and I need to see with clarity how $31,000 is going to bring them to a place of where it's productive. And I just read the goal here in Councilmember Johnson's memorandum, and it's pretty clear and pretty focused. But will you be able to accomplish this should this bill go forward? And so that's where I need some reassurance and guidance, if you will, to be able to support this.
All right, past President White, and if my intent is when he's done to take a vote.
You can go ahead. I know how I'm going to vote. I'm going to support it. Thank you.
Okay, please open the ballot and record your votes, please.
Four yeas, 3 nays.
Okay, by your actions, you've approved 2025-0645 as amended with the neighborhood amendment. We'll now go to, let's see, page number 8. Item 11, 2025-0656. We have a motion and a second on the bill. Past President Salem, on the queue, you're recognized.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I'm going to say this once on all, I guess, 5 of these, just to save us some time. These are all $10,000 appropriations, and I think it's, I have a real problem with asking our auditors and our Office of General Counsel to spend this kind of time on a $10,000 bill like this when it's the same amount of time they would be spending on a $500,000 bill. In addition, the Office of Grants or KHA will spend the same amount of time on a $10,000 bill as they would a $500,000 bill. I do respect the fact that it's a council member's contingency funds, and it bothers me to say this, but I hope between now, if these bills fail, and I have no idea what's going to happen, that he will come forward with one bill for $60,000, which on any one of these, and I'd be happy to support. But and I will be introducing legislation to limit these to no less than $25,000 going forward. That doesn't affect today, and that point was made in neighborhoods, and I get that. But I just can't support putting people through this for $10,000. And I'm told that he was advised to try to raise these things, and I think they started at $5,000, and they were able to convince the councilman to go to 10. I wish they would have convinced him to go a lot higher than that, but that's my position, and on all 5 of these. Thank you.
Thank you, Past President White. You recognize?
Yes, sir. I just want to put on the record my position. I certainly understand everything Dr. Salem is saying, and I agree with him, and I look forward for the legislation he's going to pass. But the only reason I'm going to support these is the old rules. He went by the old rules, and we do need to change them, and that's why I'm supporting him, because he went by the rules that we're playing with today, and he did the best he could on the organizations he thought, but I certainly welcome it. In fact, I'd like to co-sponsor Dr. Salem's bill when he writes it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next to Past President Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I concur with my colleague, Councilmember or Past President White, in his comments. I do want to remain consistent. I've supported every other council member who's brought forth a strategic initiative, whether I agree with with their decision or not. It was their right, and so therefore, I'm going to continue to support it. Thank you.
Visiting Councilmember Johnson, please.
Thank you for that. I just want to say I do, Mr. Chair, understand Dr. Salem's sentiments, and as it wasn't a need to convince me of anything, I think logically, he wanted to show me logically why it made sense and how we could do what we could. Again, I just wanted to be put on the record that there was a large amount, as most of my strategic funds were already spent, but the organization that was to take that larger amount came back and couldn't accept it. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that we could do. And sometimes, I heard one of my colleagues say at the meeting, hey, I shop at Walmart. Like sometimes it takes the least of us to do the greatest things. And so I wanted to be able to pull that. Hey, I know it was. I just had to say, But that's what we have to. I remember everything. We got to be able to look at sometimes those things that may not seem like much and pull them together. I guarantee you I won't be putting these smaller amounts there, and I'm urging all of these organizations to not just come and accept these funds to augment what they're doing, but to do even more, right? And I think that's what makes our city stronger. Thank you.
We have Councilmember Boylan on the queue. You recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to pile on to Councilman Salem's idea. I'd love to sit down on a notice meeting in addition to putting a limit or cap or minimum on these numbers, but also to require evidence as the capacity of the organization to meet the compliance agreement, as well as how it speaks to the strategic initiative or the public purpose specifically. So I think there's 3 criteria there: minimum amount, their capacity to comply with the terms of the agreement, and how it serves the public purpose. Thank you.
Councilmember Morrow, you recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick thought looking down the road. As you know, next year, 14 city council districts will be allocated $1 million each. Is this going to be applied to how those district council members spend their 14 or their $1 million? I'm just curious. Can anyone answer that?
We'll next go to Past President Freeman, please.
Sure, I'll answer it. You can spend it any way you like, council member, and get a receipt. I don't know. But what I would like to just bring to this body's attention is, one, we have a subsection D in public service grants that offers micro grants to nonprofits. So essentially what this group is having now, and I'm enjoying it, is a nonprofit conversation. All right, so I just want to make sure that we're aware of that. It is zero-based funded every year. And so if you're looking for a place to place some dollars and then people come to draw from it, first come, first serve, that is an avenue for doing it. I do agree with you, Councilmember Salem. There should be a floor. And I had a challenge when I first did it. I learned that floor was probably right around $10,000 because some of the small organizations, they do not have the back office support that's needed. Now, I did have Joey Gravey gave us an FTE from the mayor's office that was going to work as a case manager, and we were only talking 10. The max that there could be was going to be 10 that year. That program was not fully executed, and now it's come back as a big government. So I agree with you. I would love to see some type of cap, and we put it in. What that number is, I think it's going to be a pretty good debate because that's going to limit the size of the organization that's trying to get some of those dollars. And the next thing that you can do, or if it's a group that serves kids, is y'all can have a conversation about KHA. I mean, you've been spot on in what you were saying with a lot of these groups coming, and I've told groups in the community, hey, you're talking about kids for next year, be very cautious, because if it's outside of KHA, I've heard the finance community loud and clear. So there may be an avenue here for that with KHA and creating some type of a fund or a trust fund. Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate the discussion. It's not only on this particular bill, but also going forward, and I certainly agree with the stated intent of my colleagues going forward on the minimum amounts and the other ability to execute and other things that are being considered. So I certainly would support and want to be part of that effort. But back to this bill, the last bill that was introduced, I just don't think that body was ready to receive, and that's why I voted no on that. The rest of them are two established programs, if my research is correct. So different situation for me on this particular one, and so I'll be supporting this, but I look forward to the revisions that are being contemplated going forward. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Five yeas, 2 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0656. If we'll now go to page 9, item number 12, 2025-0657. I have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Five yeas, 2 nays.
By your actions, you approved 2025-0657. If we'll now move to page 11. Item number 15, 2025-0664. We have motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Five yeas, 2 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0664. We'll now move to page 14, item number 20, 2025-0682. We have a motion second on the emergency. Would you please explain the emergency?
Through the chair to the committee, the emergency is because the funds being appropriated in this bill will lapse on September 30th.
Thank you very much. All in favor of the emergency, please say aye. Opposed? Oh, please. Okay, I see no one in the queue, but yes, please go ahead.
Real quick, thank you, Mr. Chair. What's the difference between these funds and the other ones when you said lapse September 30th? Would the others not have lapsed on September 30th?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, yeah, this is the same funding source. Those dollars also lapse on September 30th.
Through the chair to Miss, I always pronounce your name wrong, but Kara, why didn't we make all of them an emergency when we were drafting these legislations?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, it's because of the timing and when the bills were filed. So the other bills were able to go through regular cycle.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Johnson, please.
Just real quick, Councilman Freeman, the reason being they were, you know how they do the, I think it was, the question came up, I think Boylan asked the question about the capacity. Before they file, they do a really thorough job. The auditors, the OGC offices, they make sure the organization has the capacity before they allow it to file. The River City Pearls Foundation, which is the new chapter of the AKAs, they were just making sure they had all their ducks in a row. And so it was filed a little bit late, hence the emergency. Thank you. And thank you again for the team for all the work you did to help get us here.
Thank you. Just to clarify, the emergency, there were no nays on the emergency. Is that correct? I didn't hear any nays. So given that, I declared that the emergency did pass. So we now have a motion second on the bill as an emergency. Seeing no one in the queue, all those in, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Five yeas, 2 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0682 as an emergency. We'll now move to page 15, item number 21, 2025-0683. We have a motion second on the emergency. Seeing no one else. Oh, it is the same emergency. Okay, no need to explain. All those in favor of the emergency, please say aye. All those opposed, the same. The emergency passes. I have a motion and a second on the bill as an emergency. Council, past President Freeman, you're recognized.
Thank you. And I just wanted to ask this question because this will be our only bite of the apple. I believe I'm trying to make sure I'm on the right one. I might not be on the right one here. Through the chair to the auditors, this is not the one that I was asking about repayment, is it? I have in my notes here how will we be repaid for something. I don't think it was this one.
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, I'm drawing a blank on our conversation about the repayment, but this has no repayment element to it. This is just a direct contract with the Academy of Scholars. So I don't think this would meet what you're
No, thank you so much. Please have me as a co-sponsor.
Okay. We're ready for a vote on this one, correct? Okay. Please open the ballot and record your votes.
Five yeas, 2 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0683 as an emergency. Thank you. Councilmember Gaffney Jr., which item or items were you looking to address? Page 3, if we'll all go to page 3. Okay, you just want to explain? You want to explain it? Okay, please do. It's before you do that, let's go item 3, 2025-0472.
No, hold on. Oh, yeah.
I have a motion and second on the withdraw. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you through the chair. I try to be brief. I said this in neighborhoods this morning. So what you have in front of you is a piece of legislation that I filed 2 or 3 months ago. Once I filed it, the Office of Inspector General, they put it on a non-compliance list. I think like a week or 2 later, due to some compliance issues. So between June and now, NCI, the agency that I'm trying to appropriate these funds to, been exchanging documentation. So they haven't reached home plate yet, but I spoke to NCI today, and she shared with me they are on third base. So she thinking they should be approved, meet compliance any day now. So this morning, not knowing that information, I asked you guys to withdraw the bill. But after speaking to NCI, and Dr. Eva is here, she could speak to you guys if you have any questions. She assured me that after talking with the auditors, after talking with the OIG, she's very confident that they should be off the non-compliance list within like the next 2 to 3 weeks. So what I'm asking you guys today is, instead of doing a withdrawal, is to file an amendment to extended 30 to 60 days, because she feels confident that they'll be able to get off.
I'd like a little clarification guidance, if we could, from either the auditors or general counsel, please.
Through the chair to the committee. One of the ideas that was tossed out at neighborhoods this morning was giving the entity a set number of days to come off the non-compliance list to be able to receive these fundings, but the dollars would be held back until they came off the non-compliance list. What Councilmember Gaffney Jr. is describing is he's had a conversation with NCI. They feel like they'll be able to do the proper reporting. within the next 60 days to be removed from the non-compliance list and therefore then able to receive these dollars. So I believe he's requesting that instead of withdrawing the bill, that you amend the bill to add a requirement that the entity not receive the dollars until they come off the non-compliance list. And my discussion with him was that he was requesting a 60-day, so that'd be November 15th. And if they don't get the dollar, if they don't come off by November 15th, the dollars will automatically fall to reserves because they won't qualify for the funding.
Is there anyone willing to consider that recommendation? Councilmember Boylan, please.
To put us in a proper posture, do we first need to move on, removing the withdrawal?
Through the chair to the committee, if the mover of the motion to withdraw would like to withdraw that motion with the consensus of the committee, I think that would be appropriate if you want to then take up and move the bill with the amendment as articulated by Mr. Peterson.
I don't know that withdrawal was actually made. We just, you noted the fact that the neighborhoods, it was withdrawn, but I didn't hear a motion to withdraw it.
Yeah, we did move the withdrawal. Right. So we would have to withdraw the withdrawal. We did. Because we didn't know at the time that the sponsor was wanting to remove the withdrawal. So we just moved it as listed in the agenda.
So, Mr. Chair, through the chair to Mr. Freeman, would you be willing to withdraw the withdrawal?
I will defer to the chair. I just wanted to make sure we were in a proper posture that we had this before us when we started to discuss it. So if I understand what OGC is saying, that the bill's sponsor, who is the only person technically that can do it, he's not a member of this body, he would like it if out of a courtesy, one of us on this body would offer that withdrawal for him now. Yes, I will be fine with that, or if anyone else would be, because that is what the bill sponsor is asking for. So I will move withdrawal.
Do we have, following the guidance given, a consensus on that withdrawal? Any opposed to that withdrawal? Okay, seeing none, that withdrawal is withdrawn.
So, Mr. Chair, then at this point in time, I'd like to offer the amendment. Mr. Peterson is waving his finger at me.
Mr. Peterson, please.
Through the chair, thank you, Chairman. So while this bill was not marked to move, we do have technical amendments as well. So if you are inclined to take up Councilmember Gaffney's requested amendment, I was going to run through the other amendments that are not listed on your agenda, that they were removed because of the withdrawal that occurred at NCS. If that's at any point at which you would like me to run through those, but just there are other things that need to happen within the legislation.
Okay, so just for clarification, what is it we would need to be able to, and the next step would be moving as amended?
Auditor's amendment.
Yeah, please, Councilman Freeman.
So thank you so much. So one thing that I have a little bit of heartburn with is we have a committee before us that, based off of this same council member, withdrew a bill. And so they took an action based off of what they knew to be factual at that time. And now, a couple hours later, it's coming before us, and we're undoing that action without them now having an opportunity to have this same information. And yes, we'll say they have Tuesday night, but all of us know what it's like to sit there on the night of a vote, Tuesday night, and have to try to consume all this information and make a decision. So through the chair to Councilmember Gaffney, would you have heartburn if this went back another cycle? Or your dollars, or is this going to be similar to the other ones where September 30th, it's got to go through? Would you have heartburn with if there's a change, just bringing it back on the night of and revisiting, maybe having a notice meeting between now and Tuesday for those in the other committees that missed this to understand it? Because I'm a little, he's going to give us all of these amendments and conditions right now. I haven't had time to go through it kind of go through and verify everything, and I'm going to be asked to vote. And usually when it's talking about dollars, if I don't feel as comfortable with it, I vote against it. But I don't really go against contingency. So I'm trying to say through the chair to Councilman Gaffney, you may put me in a position where something I fully support, I have to vote against it until I can research it more. And next Tuesday be in a position that I'm like, okay, I can defend this. If another nonprofit comes and asks, why did they get it and I didn't? And right now I can't defend it. Thank you.
Yeah, through the chair, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Through the chair, if I may. It's a good thing that all 5 council members who are on neighborhood is here today. And actually, I got the idea to file an amendment at today's committee. So I actually got it from Councilman Boylan. So we debated, we threw around all the options. And it was given to me, if I bring someone from NCI, get an update from NCI to see where they at in terms of getting up to compliance, I'll make a decision from there. So after I left neighborhoods today, I spoke with the organization, and they shared with me that they think they could be in compliance within like the next 30 days, but I'm going to be safe to say 60, because they've been speaking with OIG to getting everything in. They already been exchanging information. It's just been going back and forth, but they think within like the next 30 days they should be fine. So I'm not sure, Councilman Freeman, I answer your question or not, but to answer your question, I got someone from NCI here today, and she's very confident that we'll be able to tackle this issue and get off the non-compliance list within like the next 30 to 60 days.
No, you've answered my question. I don't have all the committees memorized, but I believe it's Councilmember White, Boylan, Gay, Salem. Who, through the chair or to the chair, who are the 2 that missed?
They weren't here.
Clark Murray. So all of these 5 no's are here right now. Am I good to believe that? So then I can go off of what you guys say on that if you have questions. All right, thank you. No, I'm in a posture then to move forward.
Ms. LaPera, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to address a few things. First of all, there is no motion on the floor, just so to put you in the proper posture, someone needs to move something. And also to address something that Councilmember Freeman brought up. He did say that the report out of NCSPHS was a withdrawal. And if this committee or finance later, which is where this bill will also go, reports this out as an approval with an amendment or an approval of some sort, both of those still stand. You're not undoing anything that was previously done at neighborhoods. And at council on Tuesday night, it will be the council president's discretion which report to take up and which recommendation to take up.
Okay, so as you've heard, we don't have an motion with an amendment at this time. So there's nothing to act on unless one is offered. Councilmember Boylan, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would first like to offer as amendment the auditor's amendment, if Mr. Peterson could speak to those, and then I will do a follow-up amendment.
Through the chair to the committee, the auditor's amendment would be to revise Exhibit 2, which is the term sheet, to incorporate a couple of suggestions that the grants division had once the bill was filed. They reviewed the agreement. They sent us a couple of suggestions, and I can run through those with you real quick. It's providing a copy of executed re-grant agreements, a copy of the scoring rubrics used by NCI, and then the grants becoming aware and approving of the 3 to 5 committee members who will do the scoring to make sure they're not on the city's non-compliance list. And then also, that's it. Sorry, thank you.
So I move the auditor's amendment. Looking for a second.
We have a motion and a second on the auditor's amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. The amendment passes.
Mr. Chair, then I'd like to offer another amendment, the one that Mrs. Caraher or Ms. LaPera can offer. The conversation with respect to Mr. Peterson had said that contingent upon them getting off the compliance list, funding won't be available until that time.
Through the chair to the committee, so it would be they would be given 60 days, which would be until November 15th to come off of the non-compliance list. And if they do not do so, the funds will not be available to them. We'll add a reversion of funds language to the bill that in case they do not come off, the funds go back to operating reserves. And then something that has not been talked about, but Councilmember Gaffney, I believe, wants to address is the term of the contract. The term as originally submitted when he submitted the bill back in June had a June start date. I believe it would be fair to adjust that to an October start date, if so inclined.
So, Mr. Peterson, thank you, Mr. Peterson. Offer that, Mr. Chair, as the amendment, including the start date of October 1st.
Okay, on the additional amendment, we have a motion and second on that additional amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. The additional amendment passes. Would you please roll those two together for one amendment? We have a motion on the bill as amended and a second. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0472 as amended. Thank you all. Yeah, as Past President Salem just said, this is true committee work. Thank you for coming. Thank you for doing what you did. It's a little bit laborious, but that's why we're here. Was there anything else you wanted to take up, Councilman Gaffney Jr.?
Yes, sir. It was one other bill. I don't see it.
Okay.
Maybe it's not in neighborhoods. I mean, rules.
Is it in rules?
Maybe it's not in rules.
Okay. Okay, if not, and if you find it, if there is an additional, let me know, but we'll now move on to Councilmember Peluso. What bill or bills? Okay. We'll go to page, let's see, 17 is 2025-0690. We have a motion and second on the emergency. Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, forgot to ask. What is the emergency, Ms. Carher? Don't want to take it for granted. We have that. It's not the same as the others. Please.
Through the chair to the committee, the nature of the emergency is these funds will lapse if not appropriated before September 30th.
Oh, it actually is the same then. Thank you. All those in favor of the emergency, please say aye. All those opposed, the same. The emergency passes. I have a motion and second on the bill as an emergency. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0690 as an emergency. We're going to item 25 on the next page, 2025-0691. Motion and second on the bill as an emergency. Okay, on the bill, there's no one in the queue. All those in favor of the emergency, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the same. The emergency passes. We have a motion and second on the bill as an emergency. We have two in the queue. Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I'll be voting against this. It's $5,000. $5,000 for advertising, security, rentals, event, refreshments, promotional material. I wish he would have made the first one $75, and I'd have been much happier. So I just can't see us going through all the things we have to do to keep somebody compliant for $5,000. I just can't accept that.
Thank you. Next in the queue is Past President Freeman, please. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through the chair to Councilman Peluso, I'm trying my best to stay consistent here, but this is getting low, and it looks like you have about $1,200 remaining dollars that aren't appropriated. Because I was going to ask, is there any way you could get it up to $10,000, which has kind of been the floor that has been established prior to this one. The challenge that I see is you only have $6,000 left, and now there seems to be an appetite that 10 is the floor. Are you able to or willing to consider maybe withdrawing this and adding those funds to somewhere else, and then coming back with your $1 million that you're going to get, and when this next budget passes, and you can do more with if you get it in before Councilmember Salem and White's ordinance about $25,000. But is that something through the chair to Councilman Peluso that you would consider as maybe a withdrawal here and putting these dollars below the line, or we can figure out some way that you still get your $6,000, but not necessarily now?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freedom, Thank you for that question. I wish I had more money that I could put into it that I had in council contingency. To wait much longer, I just don't want these dollars to go into the reserves, because once in the reserves, now we got to get 2/3, and we got to go through a little bit longer process. And I'm just my concern is we're going into the Jaguar season right now, and we're going to see a lot more activity on A. Philip Randolph and Florida Avenue. A lot of these dollars are going to security measures and things like that. Florida Main Street is new. Many of you signed our letters of support this past last year. They're well stood up right now. They're going to be around for a while, but these are dollars that I had at the ready that met the criteria of my kind of my neighborhood grants program. That's what my strategic focus was on. So I didn't want to give them too much. We had.
I appreciate that. I mean, I'm gonna hold true to the $10,000 floor. I just remembered in the previous conversation they mentioned putting it below the line, which would then give you a chance to carry the 6 over. But I'm jealous because I'm at large. The district council member are getting $1 million. So they're gonna if this is a desire of yours, they're gonna be able to get funds because you're gonna have $1 million. And I don't know if those dollars are gonna be restricted to just CIP or whatever, but from my understanding. So you wouldn't lose these dollars if they fell below the line earmarked for this area, and then you could attach a part of your $1 million to this 5,000 to give them even more. And that's October 1. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure when those dollars will be released, but we're only talking another 4 weeks from now. So that's just my ask. I'm going to be a no on the 5,000, but would be a yes on putting it below the line and allowing you to still have those funds to carry over. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Four yeas, 3 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0691 as an emergency. Let's see, I believe we've covered all of the visiting actions, and we'll start back on page 1. I did want to make a quick comment on that last vote. I just explained my vote there, even though it's done. You only had 6,000 left, don't like it, but the amount and the work and all that, but hopefully these things will be in a better posture and better rules and going forward, so we weren't taking so much time and effort and expense for low level bills. But this time I was willing to support the council member on that. Okay, we'll go to page 2. Item number 1 is being deferred at the request of Councilmember Diamond. Item number 2 also deferred to item 2 is deferred at the request of Council President Carrico. We have a question. Council Member Freeman is in the queue on item number 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to the auditors, I believe it was brought to my attention that Live Oak is no longer a part of the Laurel Street Trio. Is this piece of legislation tied to the lawsuit or the goings on with the Laurel Street Trio?
Through the chair to Councilmember Freeman, I don't believe it is tied to the lawsuit. I believe this was Council President Carrico's attempt at the time when there was some maybe consternation between the administration and the Laurel Street Trio ownership in settling the administrative and nuisance fines that are on the property. I have heard the same thing, that Live Oak is no longer a part of that conversation, but I have not spoken with the council president about his legislation since that news came out.
All right, thank you. And I was just bringing this up to the board because I was reading the paper today that Live Oak won the RFP for JEA. And so I asked the question, would this piece of legislation at any point hinder our decision or conversations moving forward? And I believe I learned at that time that they were no longer in it. So I was wondering if this piece of legislation is still needed. And so that's why I wanted to bring to the board, maybe we should reach out or to the council president's office to see if they want to continue to defer this. It's been going on now since November of 2024, so we're going on about a year this year. So that was it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next page. Item number 3 has been taken up. Item number 4, 2025-0539 is also deferred at the request of Councilmember Peluso. Item number 5, 2025-0600 is deferred at the request of the administration. Also, item number 6, 2025-0601 is deferred at the request of the administration. And item number 7, 2025-0638 is deferred due to a public hearing. We've already taken up item 8. Item number 9, 2025-0646. We have motion and second on the bill. Seeing no up, we have Past President Freeman, you recognize.
Man, I guess I'm the only one with questions today, so I may make this my last one. But and my lines of question when I ask about this, once this moves on from this body, we do not have another say in how these dollars were spent. And so I was asking the question of where do these dollars go? It's $77,953. Does it go to someone's salary? Is it increasing someone's salary? And if so, where? And if so, and where do we have another say in it? And the answer was no. And so I just wanted to make sure that this body knew that once we approve these dollars, it's out of our control. And so that to me was a little bit of a reason to ask the question, and would love to be able to ask the council president if he had any plans for these dollars, or if anybody, or ask any of you if you have any plans for them, because maybe you might have some ideas of what you want to do with these dollars. But that just left me with a little bit of a quandary. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next Councilmember Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to the auditor, Philip, was this the $100,000 appropriation that council approved?
Through the chair to Councilmember Morrow, that's correct. Yes, sir. A little over $22,000 has been spent with the Ballard Spahr law firm when they were looking into the Laura Street Trio agreements and evidence back in 2024. The remaining balance is that $77,953.
Thank you. Was through the chair to Philip again. Was the legislation necessary to be able to make that appropriation? Or?
Through the chair to Councilmember Morrow. So legislation was originally appropriate. The 2024-160 originally appropriated the $100,000. The full council approved of that. Those funds were carried over until September 30th of this year. And so I believe it was discussed, I think at the Personnel Committee meeting, that those funds that the Personnel Committee would like to have those funds carried over into 25-26 to remain available for covering the cost of legislative counsel to the City Council.
Okay. No one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0646. Item number 10, 2025-0651. We have motion and second on amendment. Seeing no one in the queue, please explain the amendment, Ms. Caraher.
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will add JSO as the oversight department for the Homeward Bound agreement. We'll attach the newly required affidavit required by section 118-107 for nonprofits as a new exhibit to the bill. We'll correct some Scrivener's errors within the bill. And lastly, attach a revised exhibit 2, which is the certification by JSO that the use of these dollars meets the Florida statutes.
Thank you very much. All in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the same. The amendment passes. We have motion and second on the bill as amended. See no one in the queue, open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0651 as amended. We've already taken up item 11 and 12. And item number 13, I intend to defer this by one cycle because there is a Ethics Commission meeting this Wednesday, and I've been asked for them to be able to give some input before we take this up. And so I'm deferring this for one cycle. Yes, we have Past President Salem in the queue. You recognize.
Thank you, Chair. I think I have attended personally 6 of these every year, and it seems like I learn something every year that I attend live. And I think it's important that we attend these things versus watching it on video or whatever. I don't know if I'm out on a limb when I say that. I see Kirby, I think, way in the back there in the corner, if my eyes do not deceive me. And am I alone in that, having attended every one of them? Oh, she can't comment. Okay. But I just have problems in getting away from that annual attendance, with all due respect to the author of the bill.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well, I'll respond to that. The intent here was to be able to open this up. I will tell you at the federal level, and Kirby and I had this discussion this morning, it's all by video every year, year after year after year, all by video. So no requirement to in-person exchanges. And so my intent here was to try to give some latitude, making sure the first time you know everything from A to Z, and then given that most of us do have other jobs, some of us not, but most of us do, to give some flexibility, some additional flexibility, but still meet the requirements and make sure we're staying on the correct path and we've established those relationships. So this is just my attempt to try to give a little more latitude, but still stay in compliance. We have a number of people in the queue. Councilmember Boylan, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have to say, Ms. Oberdorfer reached out to me about this bill, and I said I was going to suggest a floor amendment. We make it a bi-monthly meeting with the mandatory requirements, given my experience with sunshines and abuses thereof, Mr. Chair.
Well, that was interesting. Okay, over to Past President Freeman, please.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And I do agree with everything that our ethics department does, and they'll tell you. I mean, they're one of my first calls whenever I file bills. The auditors, the general counsel, and ethics department. However, I do appreciate how much and how far they go for those of us like myself that has 3 jobs. And so I work and I travel with 2 of them. So it is sometimes a burden to try to, outside of our responsibilities here on the council with committees, council nights, to try to attend them. I do my best, and I've been to most of them. I think 2 now I haven't. But the work that they do to follow up afterwards, to ensure, and Councilman Salem, you're spot on. We do learn things every year because it's fluid, and the rules and the laws, they change. But I personally, as one that has not attended every one, I have not felt like I was without because I missed it. And that's because of the work that Kirby does. That's the work, and when Carla was here, that she did, and Paige, and their willingness to come and sit down and talk to me and walk me through whatever changes they may be. I would support something like this if it's going to take a little bit of that burden and that stress and that guilt because I'm unable to be there because of work. After I get the first one in, but maybe not everyone is like me. I take it very serious, and I do try to make sure that if I can't be there in person, that I do watch that video, that I do get that certificate, and that I do reach back out to them and ask questions and stay in constant communication with them. And I don't think that I'm an abnormality. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Councilmember Morrow. You recognize?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just very quickly, I concur with Councilmember Salem. I personally prefer the live experience, but as Councilmember Salem Freeman just said, that if you're unable to make the live appearance, you can always look at the videotape a little bit later and still obtain the certificate. So.
Thank you all for the input, and I look forward to more from Kirby's office as well as the commission after they meet on Wednesday. So, don't have things locked down. Let you know my intent here, but I'm certainly willing, as always, to take further input and consideration. So, as I stated, this is being deferred for one cycle, and we'll move on to Isaiah chapter 4:8. Oh, okay. Somebody wants to pray us on out of here. I kind of like it, but we have to continue. Item number 14, 2025-0663. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you approve 2025-0663. We've already taken up items 15, 16, 17, 18, and let's see. I believe we still have 19 to take up. So item 19, 2025-0680. We have motion second on the emergency. Would you please explain the emergency? Is it the same?
Yes, sir. Through the chair to the committee, the emergency is that the funds being appropriated will lapse on September 30th.
Ditto. Okay. All those in favor of the emergency, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the same. The emergency passes. I have a motion and second on the bill as an emergency. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0680 as an emergency. We've already taken up item 20, item 21, and item 22, 2025-0685 is on second reading. Item 23, 2025-0687. I have a motion and second on the emergency. Seeing no one in the queue, all in favor of the emergency. Let's not take it for granted. It's the same thing. Would you please explain the emergency?
Yes, through the chair to the committee, the emergency is being requested because the funds being appropriated will lapse on September 30th.
You've got that answer down pat here. Okay, all those in favor of the emergency, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the same. The emergency passes. Move the amendment. I have a motion and a second on the amendment. Would you please explain the amendment, Ms. Carher?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will attach a revised Exhibit 2, which is the term sheet and budget, to reference the waiver of Section 118.301A3.4. This was incorporated in the bill itself, but not the term sheet, so we're just going to make sure that that's in alignment with the authorization in the bill.
Okay, thank you very much. All in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the same. The amendment passes. I have a motion and second on the bill as an emergency as amended. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0687 as an emergency as amended. We've already taken up item 24, 25. Item number 26, 2025-0693 is on second reading. Also, item 27, 2025-0694 is on second reading. And 28, 2025-0695 is on second reading. And we'll move to item 29, 2025-0697. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you have approved 2025-0697. Item 30, 2025-0698. We have a motion and a second on the bill. We have Scrivener's written in there, looking for some. Oh, okay, there was just a period. We don't need to take any action separate from that. Okay. So no one, oh, but we do have one in the queue. Councilmember Boylan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My father was in the Navy. I should certainly add my name as a co-sponsor, please.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Boylan, Councilmember Gay as well. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0698. Item 31, 2025-0700. Motion second on the bill. Please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0700. Item 32, 2025-0701. Motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0701. Item 33, 2025-0702. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you have approved 2025-0702. Item 34, 2025-0703. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you have approved 2025-0703. Item 35, 2025-0704. We have a motion and second on the bill. We have Councilman Borland in the queue. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to be added as a co-sponsor to remind my colleagues that the 30th annual festival Festa Italiana on Westbury Road is on the 18th of October, and I look forward to seeing you there.
All righty. Thank you. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2025-0704. Item 36, 2025-0705. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0705. Item number 37, 2025-0707 is on second reading. Item 38, 2025-0708 is also on second reading, and item 39, 2025-0709 is on second reading. We've taken up item 40, so we move to item 41, 2025-0719. We have a motion and second on the bill. We have Councilmember Gay on the queue. You're recognized.
Please add me as a co-sponsor.
And me as well, please. I think we're across the board here. Okay, seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0719. And are there any other further items to consider or any comments? We have one by past President Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say great job leading the meeting. It's been really good and fun watching you continue to develop and mature in that chair. You're running a very efficient meeting, but yet you're not stifling debate, and that's what committee's for. So I really appreciate your patience with me today. It was one of my longer days and with a lot of questions, but great job and looking forward to the rest of the year. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate it, all of you. It's a blessing to be working with you all on this committee. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you.